Why don't you tell me about your kids?
Why? Did you take my money?
No, I was just asking for some.
You're lying. Daniel!
His name is Ru. He's been missing for more than a week now.
Can you bring me some clothes?
Where are you? Mum thinks you're dead. You know, you never touch me.
Don't want me to touch you.
Mum? Love you.
I spent something like 8 months casting the children for the roles of all the children. So it was a very long casting process. That's the first thing. And I really did look at many, many young children for all the roles. But I also am a great believer in rehearsals, and I do a lot of rehearsals with my actors, not just the young actors, but also the adult actors. And so I put them through a very, very rigorous rehearsal process. And so I approach that young talent in the way that I approach my work with all actors, which is with a great amount of dedication, and actually with children, what I discover is if they are talented and that you guide them and you support them, they will in fact give you gold. They give you very pure performances, and I think all the children in the film gave us really very beautiful and truthful performances. My only other comment about working with children as a director is that children are able to grasp concepts, and they are very sophisticated, and if you don't talk down to them, they understand you know, great kind of emotional ideas, and certainly the kids in this film were able to, I think, tackle the very deep kind of issues that they had to deal with as characters in a fantastic way. But, you know, it's a process, and it's very much about working with those kids very intensively.
What about your partner? Does he get along with your kids?
He's a good bloke.
I'm afraid my parents are out of town at the moment. America, actually.
Your folks were pretty well off then.
Yeah.
$700. What are you doing to get that kind of money?
We're going to keep you here until we find out what you did to these two girls.
What do you think? We killed someone?
The screenplay is actually based on a play called Who's Afraid of the Working Class. It was written by four writers who wrote the play in response to some very particular political circumstances in Victoria. And really, as we developed the screenplay, it transformed from, I guess, a certain kind of polemic to a screenplay that really kind of introduced the idea or the themes of mothers and children as a way of giving the stories and the characters a kind of universality. That was the first thing. And secondly, a lot of the original political ideas in the play no longer were relevant. So as we developed the screenplay over a sort of an 8 to 9 year period, for me there had to be also a very strong emotional kind of connection in the story, and it was through the development of the screenplay that I came up with the idea of binding the stories through the theme, the core theme of that very precious connection between mothers and children. Class still imbues the work. The socio-economic kind of position of a lot of those characters, for me, speaks to class. So the fabric of some of those original ideas of the play are still in the film. But what we also did is that we reinvented the play and took it to another level in terms of making it, I think, a stronger cinematic piece.
Please give me the name of the boy in the river.
I think this boy is my son.
You're never going to see her again.
Wait!
Life isn't a big fancy dress party. Everybody has to look like what they are.
What are you doing to me?
Making you happy.
For me, emotionally, it's a really powerful tool, and certainly for me, in a performance sense, the style of the film was deliberately intimate and close, and that was really what I was wanting to do. I think, yes, there is a subtle comment being made about that issue. The fact that there doesn't seem to be a kind of a big father presence in the film. However, there are men in the film. The Tanya Peter relationship, what we see is a sort of a classic nuclear family that actually is highly problematic. We have a man in that relationship who has lost his self-esteem and lost his capacity to actually be with his wife in a way that is meaningful. We do actually have, Rhonda does have a boyfriend, but we see that there's a destructive quality to those relationships she has with men. There is, I think, a certain level on which, particularly for in the Western world, there is a breakdown of family. There is often an absence of paternal figures. There's an absence of the father, and there is some kind of comment that we're making about that.
It must be hard.
No, it is not hard. Those kids are my blessings.
I love you, Horton. I love you so much.
My whole life is one big assessment.